Tensions between the United States and Iran continue to dominate global headlines as anti-government protests in Iran enter their third week, and Washington responds with tough rhetoric. President Donald Trump says Tehran has reached out and proposed negotiations, but he warned that the U.S. is still considering very strong options, including possible military measures if Iranian authorities violently suppress demonstrators. The unrest, sparked by deep economic issues and widespread public anger, has led to a reportedly high death toll now estimated at more than 500 people as internet blackouts and heavy crackdowns persist. Iran's leadership has blamed the U.S. and Israel for fomenting unrest and vowed retaliation should America intervene. President Trump has publicly warned of unprecedented strikes on Iran if Iranian forces attack U.S. military or commercial facilities, calling his options so strong they won't believe it. Meanwhile, Tehran claims it is ready for both war and negotiation, signaling that any escalation could have far-reaching consequences. We'll continue to monitor developments from both capitals as diplomatic and military tensions remain high. Back home, demonstrators across the United States are continuing to protest against ICE and federal immigration enforcement following the fatal shooting of Renee Nicole Good by an ICE officer in Minneapolis. Major protests took place this weekend in cities including New York City, where thousands marched against immigration and customs enforcement and denounced the Trump administration's immigration policies. In Atlanta, more than 400 activists rallied outside the local ICE field office calling for justice and accountability. Washington, D.C. saw large crowds gather at ICE headquarters, while Santa Barbara hosted a protest with several thousand participants demanding change. Authorities in Minneapolis have deployed hundreds of additional federal agents, described as ICE's largest enforcement operation yet, in response to the unrest and nationwide demonstrations. Organizers of the ICE Out for Good movement say the protests will continue until meaningful reforms are made, and some lawmakers are now proposing legislation to abolish ICE entirely. Those were your top stories: Trump and Iran, and anti-ICE protests sweeping the nation. Stay tuned for updates as these major stories unfold. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with more news you can trust.